Hey guys, today is Sunday, May 31st, 2020, and this is the Flight Sim News. So, it's kind of a news flash Flight Sim news today because I don't have a lot to talk about, but a couple of major things happened that really needed reporting on right now. And that is that the previews are starting to pop up for the P-47D Thunderbolt and the channel map for DCS World.
Some differential braking. There is a Quonset hut out in front of us here that we don't want to hit. Because these maps are so detailed, or these airfields are so detailed, you really want to make sure you're not going to hit anything unintentionally. To creating trains in your missions, and thus engaging trains and making them fun targets to hit. There are, of course, cool targets to find and look out for because they do have that nice big smoke.
So as you can see, this is one of many videos. This is Spudknocker's P-47D Thunderbolt and channel map first look and impressions video. And it's almost an hour long. It's about 47 minutes and some change. I'll throw a link to this so you can check it out for yourself in the video notes as usual. Next up is the Growling Sidewinder's early access look at the P-47D Thunderbolt and new map.
But that's what you would expect. It's not too far from Normandy, obviously. And yeah, it's beautiful. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump into a mission. Alright, so like I said, I'm not really too proficient in the P-47. I've literally had it for about an hour here. And we got 3 wingmen, flight of 4 P-47s, and there is a German town down here that's being assaulted. As soon as we can find it, we're going to try to help our ground troops to take that position. And that just means we're going to come down from the air, do some strafing runs, drop some bombs on them. And I think I can see Pickle. In that tree line there, I think is where all the Germans are. They're holding a nice little defensive line.
So that's the Growling Sidewinder's look. His video is about 11 minutes long. I'll be sure to throw a link to that in the video notes as usual, so you could check that out for yourself. Lastly, here is Cap from the GrimReaper's P-47D Thunderbolt Cold Start tutorial.
To do. I'm going to left click and hold on this switch here, which will move it downwards to energize it for 15 to 20 seconds. That will convert electric into kinetic energy in our kinetic flywheel. They will then immediately switch and hold this switch to the up, the engage position, which fires the engine, and we'll see the prop spinning at that point, and you want to press and hold that. Now, the best way to do that is, like I said, to bind a button to that, so you can press and hold a button on the keyboard or on your HOTAS. While the prop is spinning, cranking, we're then going to move our mixture lever from idle cutoff to auto rich to catch the engine. So let's get that done. Left click and hold, watch the clock, check the vacuum gauge, make sure that we're between thresholds of that there and that there. We're ever so slightly shy, but it's so close that I think we can get away with that. While the oil temperature is cold.
So Cap's video is about 5 minutes long. And I'll throw a link to that in the video notes as usual, so you can check that one out for yourself. Here's a blast from the past. So I posted a video here not long ago of one of my old CombatReporter shows from the All Games Network from 1998. And it looks like Scott Rubin over there, who's an old friend and the guy who used to run the All Games Network with Pseudo Inc. back in the day and was considered my boss. He has posted a better copy of what I had posted with the show intact. So this is the entire show from, it says March 17th, 1998, but at the beginning I'm pretty sure in the news section I say March 1st. This is the entire show, and it starts out with news about Jane's World War II fighters and some other stuff that was going on, and then I interview the developers of Starsiege and Starsiege Tribes in the main section of the show, and then we go to a commercial break and come back, and then Jim Downs, who is no longer with us, unfortunately, God rest his soul, who was a fantastic co-host. Jim Downs used to be in the studio in Manhattan, and All Games would call me up. I lived in, I'm outside of Pittsburgh. I lived in Beaver County at the time, and they would call me from my house and plug me into the studio via phone and a webcam sometimes, but always via phone. And then they would call my guests up and plug them in, and we would have our interview live, thus the title Combat Reporter Live. And I would review or interview all kinds of awesome developers from back in the day. The shows were fantastic. It ran for almost 2 years, and it was just awesome stuff. Great times. I had my own sound guy, production assistant, and camera guy walking around E3 1999 with me. What a great experience, and what great times. And this is back in the the days of so many simulations that it was just so hard to keep track of. But this is the entire show, and in the second segment, Jim and I talk about the newly announced Jane's U.S. Air Force. And fun stuff, man. I'm going to take this and download it and doctor it up a little bit and fix the audio and do what I can with it. And I'll be posting it here as well at the WarGameGuru channel. But if you want to see it right now the way it is, I'll throw a link to this, but it's very cool stuff.
We're here today with Blake Hutchins and Dave Scott from the Starsiege team to talk about Starsiege. What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. How's it feel to finally be done with a project like that?
Awesome. Yeah, it's wonderful.
So the good news is you guys actually went gold, was it Thursday or Friday of last week?
It was Wednesday, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it just didn't go out to the press until like Thursday or Friday.
Something like that, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we would have had Rick in here, too.
Hello.
Yeah, it is a little funky at first.
That's something we'll work on, though.
So this is an evolving thing? You guys are going to like maybe come out with new maps and stuff like that as time goes on, or any expansion packs in the works for this?
No, that's really been laid out right now. We're still just kind of dealing with Tribes 1 and recouping a little bit. But, yeah, those are definitely in the air.
Gotcha.
Expansion pack.
Which is very cool.
Now, did they have some kind of texture compression trick to render all that different ground? Or
I don't know how they're doing it, but they did a pretty good job with it in IAF, and with what they're doing here, they're doing it well, too. I think, like I said before, they model it down to 1 meter per pixel in hot spots where it's supposed to look the best, and they do it at 10 to 30 meters per pixels in other areas.
Right, so
I don't know how they're going to do it in this one for sure, because they haven't released a lot of info yet.
Do you know what arenas of conflict we're going to be fighting in?
Okay, here's what's going to happen. We've got the F-105 Thud, the F-4E Phantom,
sweet,
the F-15C and E, so we've got the Eagle and the Strike Eagle, the F-117, the F-16C, the A-10, and the F-22 Raptor. These are going to be the planes you can fly. Now, the areas of conflict, in IAF, they had historical and future.
Man, such good times, guys. This really brings back memories, man. This is what I did every week for a little over an hour for a number of years. And it was such a great time to be into simulations, man. This is great nostalgia if you guys are looking for something pretty cool, that if you're around my age and was around for this stuff. This is when simulations were just so much fun, you know. So I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you can check this out for yourself. But be on the lookout for I'm going to post it here too after I download it and fix the audio. It seems like the audio is just like one channel. It seems like it's really heavy to the left and not so much on the right. So I'm going to fix that, and I'll repost it here pretty soon. All right, guys. Lastly, the first competition has ended for the Heat Blur Tomcat giveaway and Meteor System Failure Album giveaway. That has ended. It looks like we ended up with 685 total entries. Let's try to beat that. I've started the second one now, and the winners of the first competition was Robert Lubecker from Killeen, Texas. He won the Tomcat, and I emailed him based on the email that he had entered with and gave him his license, thanks to Heat Blur. And the second winner, the runner-up, was Martin Buczek, B-U-C-Z-Y-K, from Poland. And he is the winner of the Meteor System Failure album that he can cash in over on Bandcamp. So the second giveaway has started, and I just put that together this morning, and it looks like it's ready to go. I'm going to post a link to that at the top of the show notes here in the video. So be sure to get on over there, guys. Tell your friends, tell relatives, have people enter as much as they possibly can. I want to beat the first one, and we have to thank Heat Blur and Meteor both for helping to sponsor this giveaway. And this is the second of 5 total giveaways I'm going to be running. This is running for 6 more days. It's going to end on Saturday. So get out there and get over there and get those entries in. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys.